Literacy concepts we're using is Rob's building concepts and Tavani's accessibility to text. We're going to use our website for the phases of the moon in science, and we're going to go over that information. What are some shapes of the moon you have observed?
The full moon and the crescent moon.
What does a full moon look like?
Like a big circle.
What does a crescent moon look like?
Like a little, looks like a crescent.
Okay. Is there anything else you've noticed about the moon?
How there's a new moon.
What does a new moon look like?
Nothing.
Nothing. You're sure it looks like nothing?
Well, it's still round, but just not shining yet.
Not shiny. Do you want to find out more information?
Yep.
The moon travels around the Earth. The revolution around the Earth makes the moon appear as if it's changing shape in the sky. From the Earth, we see the moon grow from a thin crescent to a full disk or full moon, and shoot back to a thin crescent again before vanishing in a few days. The lit part of the moon is always pointing to the sun. And what is the phase of the moon? Do you know? Without looking at the text. No. The lunar phase is the amount of the moon we see from Earth. Depending on how much of it is lit up by the sun, this amount changes every day. Do you know what causes the moon to be lit up?
The sun.
That's right. The sun is illuminated because it reflects light from the sun. Part of the moon facing the sun is lit up. The part facing away from the sun is in darkness. Do you know what causes the different phases of the moon?
No.
You want to take a guess?
I think the phases are to help you out the moon.
The phases of the moon depends on its position in relation to the sun and Earth. The moon makes its way around the Earth. We see the bright parts of the moon's surface at different angles. These are called phases of the moon. Do you know what are the different types of phases called?
No.
You know a few. You named some earlier.
Like the crescent, the quarter. Wait, did I name the quarter? The circular plane moon, which is known as the full, and the first quarter. Wait, or is it up? And that's pretty much all.
The phases of the moon work in a cycle starting with the new moon. The one that you pointed out said that it was all black.
Yeah.
As the cycle of the moon phases from the new moon to the full moon, it takes 29 and a half days.
Wow.
29 and a half days. Might want to remember that number.
29. Wait.
There are 8 phases of the moon. The phases are named after how much of the moon you can see and whether the amount of the moon is increasing or decreasing each day. wax quarter, and waning crescent. Why are the phases of the moon different in each hemisphere, do you think?
Probably because north and south are different poles. Like the sun could be on the north while the moon is on the other. Going to.
So you're saying the position of the sun and the moon with the earth rotating on its axis is different?
Yeah.
It takes our moon 29, here's that number again, 29 and a half days to completely cycle through all 8 phases. This is known as a lunar
Month.
Right.
It's 5 minutes.
Okay. Here's interesting. This helps you understand why it changes shape, or why it looks like it changes shape. You were right. The alignment of the moon and the sun determines the phase of the moon. The waxing crescent, these right here, are the crescent moons that show till it's about half full in the phase. We call the first quarter. So you were right, the quarter. From there, it grows to a full moon. It begins to shrink back to the third quarter, waning crescent, and finally back to a new moon. See how it appears to change? The moon here, it shows how it rotates. And here's your waning crescent at day 25. It's on the opposite side. Here's our Earth, and the moon is 90 degrees west of the sun, so it rotates this way. Okay? So we start out with our what? Our new moon on day 0. Look at the angular distance from the sun and the moon.
It's sort of.
It's less, it says what? It's less than,
It's less than a few degrees.
and then we have our waxing crescent.
And then our first
Day
quarter.
7 is our
First quarter. Or half moon.
Okay.
Day 10 is the waxing gibbous.
Yes.
Oh, gibbous.
Now we're at 180 degrees from the sun, and that's when we see what you call a
Full moon.
or gibbous. And we come back to a waning gibbous on day,
17.
and then the other quarter moon that you said you've seen, it's called a last quarter or half moon, and that's seen on,
Day 21.
and it is how many degrees from the sun?
No, 90.
And we're at our waning crescent.
That's
and
25.
back at our new moon.
So,
Okay, we're going to take our mini book. Okay, that's okay. Write your name. This is our
new moon.
What words can you use to describe a new moon?
Dark.
Dark. That's a good one. What other words did you hear using a new moon?
It's at day 0.
Here we have our crescent moon. And what are some words you think now you can describe a crescent moon?
It looks like a croissant
Okay.
from France. It's spelled croissant.
See. That's a crescent moon?
It looks like a little boomerang.
Okay. Okay, what about our quarter moon?
It's sort of like a croissant, but it's not really.
It's half. Is it half moon?
Yes.
Because the moon is at 90 degrees from the sun, right?
Yeah. So it's half of a moon. Also known as the half moon.
That's our gibbous moon. What other word? That's a new term. What does gibbous moon mean? What was that moon?
It was barely a full moon.
Not quite a full moon yet, right?
Yeah, barely. Just
It
barely.
still has some darkness to it, right?
Yep.
Okay. And our full moon. What words can you use to describe a full moon?
Circular.
Okay. What makes it different from a new moon?
It's not dark. It's light.
What makes it light?
Sun.
Here, you can make a picture of your favorite moon phase. What moon phase did you pick?
I picked the new moon.
Can you name it? On the next one, you're going to name the moons your own name. So you figure out what names you would like to call the moon phases. So we're going to start with the full moon. What name would you like to make up for a full moon?
The gate.
Okay.
It's very light.
It's very what?
Light.
Very what?
Like it's very lit up.
Right. How can we use the moon phases?
By telling time.
Helps us to tell time. How has the study of the moon helped humans?
By telling